Three, two, one. Welcome, everybody, to Rolling on Three, the first podcast for three wheelers. Anything you riding on, Can-Am, Rikers, Spiders, Slingshots, Vanderhalls, you name it, whatever's on three wheels, I want to talk about it. Today, I got my friend Zia on the show from his YouTube channel, The Knight Ryker. What's up, Zia? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Keith. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I like to start the show off with the same question I ever ask everybody. What Can-Am Ryker did you buy?
So I went with the 900 Rally. It was not my first choice, believe it or not, but I ended up with a Rally. My first choice, I was actually looking for a used Spider. Because I got into Can-Ams all those years ago when I first saw the RSS. I don't know if you remember the RSS when it
Yes,
came
I
out.
do.
I was like,
Yeah.
man. And, that was back in the day. I was still fresh with my sports bikes and all of that. And I was like, I want this RSS. And then when I saw the price, I was like, I don't want this RSS. I can't have this RSS, you know.
I
So,
hear you.
so all those years later, I'm like, all right, you know what? My daughter, she just turned 11 and she's kind of scared of two wheels. So I've been riding two wheels all my life. And she's like, I want to start riding with you. But she's scared of two wheels. I said, you know what? I'm curious enough about three wheels. And
Right.
this will be really cool. You can ride with me. It'll be a father-daughter bonding thing.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. So I started looking at used F3.
Hmm.
RSS, I just couldn't find in the budget. I was looking at the same price range. So I found a couple of F3s. I was willing to drive out 300 miles, told my wife, come on, let's go. And she was all excited. And then those had 70,000 plus miles on them. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
So then I started looking at Rikers. I started watching YouTube videos, my research to go place, YouTube, right?
Everybody.
Everybody, right? So I started watching these YouTube videos, a bunch of videos, Riker Rights came up, Kwasi Motard was like, that guy is the first video that popped up,
Yeah.
pulled
Yeah.
up Riker, because, he's
Yeah.
got a lot of toys,
Yeah.
you
He
know,
got a lot of toys. So yeah,
a
he
lot
was
of
probably the
toys.
first guy to throw it out big like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Plus, he's got that radio voice too, doesn't he? Like, he's got
Yeah.
that voice where, so anyway, so I started watching his videos and I just got interested. I didn't even know Riker, it came out. I went to the showroom, looked at it. I was like, not bad. It's like a Street Fighter kind of, a naked
Yeah.
type,
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
comfortable enough. You can do kind of long. So then I looked at the models and I went to the Rally because it just had all the upgrades. I didn't need to spend, the suspension upgrades, and it came with a max
Cool.
mount, and
Yeah.
just those two alone was worth the price, right? So that's why I went with the Rally. I said, okay, let me just go with the Rally, even though I like the Ace wheels,
Man,
uh, you know,
those I like those
but
wheels.
uh,
Where
but
did you
it's
get it
growing on
from
me, though.
though? Did you get
It's
it from
growing
a
on me. I
dealer?
like it.
That's
Was that?
cool. You got it from a dealer? A dealership?
Yeah, yeah. So I went and I got it from Mountain Motorsports here
Oh,
in
okay.
Roswell. Yeah, yeah. It was a shaky start with them.
Mhm.
But and I brought my videos on there and everything about my experience.
Right.
So, because there's a lot of people who watch me are local as well. So, and I'm not the one to just say bad things about somebody. The GM there, solid guy at the Roswell location, took care of
Okay.
me, made things right. And I would, if anybody asked me like, hey, is this guy real? Is this solid? I would say trust him 100%. He took
That's
care of me,
good. That's
made my
good.
experience good at the end. So I bought it from the dealership.
All right. So
And
is there a lot of Can-Am dealerships out there, or you had to drive far to get to one?
No, no. So Mountain Motorsports is like a behemoth of a dealer here in
Oh,
Atlanta.
okay.
It's got like
Okay.
4 or 5 locations, and they're one of those dealers, the power sport dealers that has every franchise. Kind of like that guy. What's that guy on YouTube? And I'm gonna make these references a lot, like Smoke Slog. You see Smoke
Okay.
Slog?
Yeah, I watched him. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like the dealership he works at. They've got like 10 different brand names. So, and then I found another dealer close to my work
Okay.
that's just a Can-Am dealer. So it's like, how did I miss you earlier? But no, so dealers are not far away. But yeah, so I just found one. I was trying to find a used one because I always like to find a used one first. But Rikers are so new that
Yeah, they're
it's
so
tough.
new. That's
You
the
see the
big thing
prices, the
about it.
used. You
I
see the used
know.
prices. they're like, okay, well, might as well put another $500 and get a brand new one, you know.
Yeah, I know, man. It was all, well, we don't have out in New York City, we don't have big Can-Am dealerships. We have authorized Can-Am dealerships. So they're
Oh,
like motorcycle stores that will carry maybe a few Can-Ams and things like that.
right,
That's why it was very hard for me to get a Can-Am Ryker
right.
because it was just pretty much they were only coming in two by two and they were selling out the minute they hit the dealership. So it
Wow.
was pretty much I got on a waiting list and then I got a call and it was like, yeah, be here in 2 hours or, you'll wait
Yeah,
again. So
I remember you said you were on the waiting list before. How long did
yeah.
that take? I
It's
know
a,
you're asking the questions, but how long did that take?
it took about, let me see. Probably saw it when it came out February. I probably looked at it in March. So about 2 months.
Oh, cool, cool.
Yeah, about 2 months I waited to get it.
Yeah,
But
so I went with the rally. I just thought the upgrades alone were worth, the price, the extra price, because
right.
and just that suspension alone, if you spend it, that's probably 500-600 bucks right there. So
Yeah. I couldn't get it. The only thing that was available was the 600 Ace. So I
yeah,
just went for it because, I didn't have a choice. So I grabbed it. I mean, to me, I was like, you know what? It's out. Let me get it now because I don't want to blow a whole riding season waiting for another model to drop. So I went and grabbed it. But you said you rode before. So how long you been riding on two wheels?
oh my goodness, since I was maybe 15 years old, 14 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and legally, since I was maybe since I was 18 years old. Yeah.
Everybody
So,
got that story.
well, I mean, I grew up overseas, right? So I'm
Okay.
originally from Pakistan, right? So over there, everybody's got a motorcycle. It's I mean, you see that part of the world, Pakistan, India. And everyone's seen picture, the whole family's on the motorcycle, right? You've got the father riding the motorcycle,
Yeah, I
the
see that.
missus is,
I
sideways
was
in the back, one kid in the shoulder, one kid hanging off the foot. It's just not normal there. Motorcycle culture over there.
That's
So I
cool.
started learning on there were these Honda bikes are very popular. We have all kinds of bikes there, these Asian models especially, right? So
Mhm.
Honda 70cc was really popular. 125 was like, wow, you've got a heavy, heavy, cafe racer type bike.
Okay.
And then when I moved here, I got my license, and then I made the biggest mistake, and I bought from a 125. I went straight to a Super Sport 600. So,
Ooh,
so
man.
viewers, if you're
Yeah.
thinking of buying a bike which is not three wheels and you're new, do not jump to a sports bike, let alone a 600. Start with the,
I was a two-wheeler for many years and
yeah.
I
And
was
you know
one
how
of
it is with the super sports, right? I mean,
yeah.
you getting off of 70 cc's, 125 cc's, all of a sudden 600 super sports. I had a Honda CBR 600, and
Okay.
there were times, Keith, I'll tell you, there were some oh crap moment times that
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I
you're
had those.
riding with one hand on the throttle, and all of a sudden you're like just want to be cool, and then you twist it accidentally,
Oh
and then
yeah.
you're like this, going between cars, you're like what, and then and the cars are looking at you and like, look how cool he is. No, no, I'm hanging on to dear life, this is not cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
So those moments, like,
I
coming
was one
through.
of those guys. I was one of those guys that like to rip through traffic,
8 seconds
white
trying to hold
line.
on to dear life.
Yeah, white lining through things and stuff like that. But I was like, as I got older, I was like, I'm really cutting it close. I'm like, okay, I got off the bike and I still have all my limbs. All right, let's try it one more time. And then after a while, you start to lose that going, whoo, these are just getting too close. So let me just yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
put the bike away for a little while and drive the car, and then
Yeah, yeah. I
I
was into
started.
cars as well. I loved cars. I love cars as well. But I try to own as many toys as I can that I can afford. And
Where you
and
say you're at now? Where do you live now?
I live just north of Atlanta,
Oh,
sir.
Atlanta. Okay.
Yeah, I've been here since '98. So and traffic's going ridiculous here. So it used to be
Yeah.
fun riding at one point. Now you have to get up really early on a weekend to
Yeah.
enjoy riding.
That's
But
where
the
I'm at
Riker
right
is so
now.
comfy that I kind of commute on it as much as I can to work and back. It's comfortable. You don't have to
Yeah,
worry
I'm a
about.
I'm a commuter myself. I use the Ryker for commuting. Now I'm in the same predicament. New York City is just full of traffic, full of
Yeah, yeah,
traffic. But
yeah, yeah.
do you get a chance to get out, like, hit the suburbs and do some riding or?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, like I opened up my YouTube channel 5 months ago, just a little over 5 months ago, and it's still a hobby. It's nothing.
Right.
If it goes big, great. I'll quit my day job, but at the moment, I just enjoy making videos, learning how to edit them, and bring them onto YouTube, and just meeting people. I like meeting people. So yeah,
Nah,
I
that's
go
cool.
to rides as much as I can. Connect with groups. I like to do the group rides. Go out. There's so many roads in Georgia that I don't even know existed, right? And the cool thing, we're lucky here in Georgia. I'm sure other states are can relate, but
Right.
we're lucky because we have that elevation up and down, left and right, mountainous roads, and it really gives you the upper body workout on a three wheeler. When you're
Yeah, it's a push and pull process. But
oh yeah,
when you was talking about your channel, I like that, the Knight Ryker. That's a nice play on a very popular 80s TV
oh,
show.
grew up with it, grew
Yeah,
up
I
with
mean,
it.
I was like, wow, man, what a name to drop,
I was
man. I
like, it's
was
a cheesy
like,
name. It might be a cheesy name to few, but I like it. So
I like it, man. When
yeah,
I saw that, when that popped up, I said, oh, man, that's too cool, man.
I'm like, I can't believe nobody thought of that. I was like, maybe it was too cheesy. I'll find out in the first month if I need to change my name or what. I even threw a poll out there like, hey, this might not always be a Riker channel. It could be any
Yeah,
kind
of
of
course.
riding channel or just like, exploring on a motorbike channel or whatever. So
Of course,
should
yeah.
I change my name, channel name? And, 65 people voted and 81% said no, don't change it. It's too cool. I was like, okay,
People
that's fine.
like it, man. They sometimes that cheesy stuff just sticks in your head,
Well, it came out. Yeah, I thought about it in like 2 minutes. I'm like, what should I name the channel? You have to have something nice and popping, and it's so tough to come out with names because somebody already has it. And then
Yeah.
I grew up, like you said, I grew up in the late '70s, early '80s, and Knight Rider overseas back home, Knight Rider. And
Was the
I don't. A
king.
lot of people don't know this show, but just right after Knight Rider was Airwolf. So I don't know if
Oh,
anybody. Yeah, you remember the
we're
helicopter
from
one?
the same age group, so I
Same
remember
name,
Airwolf,
same. Yeah, one was air, one was land.
the A team, and all that stuff that was on. Yeah.
$6 million man, all those.
Is the three-wheel community big out in Atlanta? I mean, do you see it a lot or
When I bought the Riker, I rarely saw, but that's how it works, doesn't it? You
yeah,
buy
you
a
see
certain
it
model
have
of car, all of a sudden you start seeing the
everybody
same
has
car.
it. Yeah.
But no, but when I bought the Riker, I don't remember seeing a whole lot at all. My wife even said that, hey, there's none whatsoever. When I bought it, and that could be because the Riker is more affordable than the Spider, and
Yes.
because of all this inventory issue and the pandemic hitting, uh,
Okay.
a lot of people couldn't buy it, I guess. But now
Yeah.
you see a lot more people are getting their Rikers, and I see a lot of them on the road now that than maybe 6 months ago, 7 months ago. So yeah, the community is growing. Yeah, that's for sure. It's growing.
That's good.
We got a lot of Spider riders here though, more than the Riker. But again, Spider's been out for years, right? So you
Yeah.
have a lot more bikes out in the open versus Rikers are just new and they just appeal to a different age group, I guess. I
Yeah, I
shouldn't
was
say
in
that
this.
because it appeals to everybody, but
Mhm.
if you want comfort, chances are you're gonna go for a Spider. So
I was in the same range as you when I stopped riding two wheels. I saw the spiders came out, and I was like, "Wow, those are nice." I said, "Let me go check them out." But the prices on those things, like you said, were like, "Ah, man, for that, I'm gonna go get me another super sport bike."
oh yeah,
So I put it away. I put it away, and what's crazy? It was a friend of mine because I used to always talk about the three wheelers, and everybody's like, "That's ugly. That's not a bike." And I was like, "Nah, that's nice, man. Trust me." And then one of my friends said, "Hey man, did you see that Ryker?" I said, "What's a Ryker?" He was like, "Cause
yeah,
I gave up on it." So he was like,
uh,
"Nah, check it out. It's an affordable three-wheeler from Can-Am." So I looked
yeah,
it up on
yeah,
YouTube. I said, "Oh, I watched a few YouTube videos." Then I
yeah,
just went in and started calling and
yeah.
calling. And I tell him to this day, I say, "It's your fault I spent that money."
Yeah.
But I
I'm
had
telling you, this bike could be in two movies. It could be in the next Terminator, all right, and it could be in the next like second remake or third remake of Judge Dredd. This could be Judge Dredd's bike
I
rolling in the
still to
future.
this day when I'm riding, I still get people pull up to go, "Oh, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that?" And I'm saying to someone, "Well, it's been out for a few years, but I tell them, because they always want to
Yeah,
ask you 100 questions while you got your helmet on, like you could actually hear anything they're
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
But
I know.
they're
But
screaming out of a.
you gotta, it
Yeah,
comes with the package. It's
yeah,
like
I
owning a
know.
classic car or whatever, a exotic car. It comes with a package.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
gotta
I
give
get
those
it.
guys. I just made these spam cards, and anytime somebody comes up like that, I was like, hey, do me a favor, just go ahead and scan the QR code and go to the YouTube channel.
I like that. I put
And
that on the
there's this
side. Yeah.
channel. What's his name? Uh, I forget. It was actually a two-wheel rider channel who was handing these spam cards. I'm like, what is a spam card? Oh, it's just business cards for your YouTube channel. So it's like that's a great idea. I'm gonna do
That
that. So,
is. I saw yours. That's nice though. I put my YouTube channel on the side of my bike. So when people come by and I go, take a picture. There's my YouTube channel right
yeah, yeah.
there. So people snap
I
photos of
did those too. I watched a lot of YouTubers do that, so I'm like, I'm gonna do that too. So I put a sticker, but my sticker's got a QR code, so they just open up the camera, scan the
that's
QR code, and it goes
that's a
straight to
good
the channel.
that's a good one. I'm gonna have to put one on my helmet, but
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good
did
one.
you
Tell me,
right there, take a picture. Did
yeah.
you I know you did some mods, so let's talk
Oh
those
yeah,
mods and
yeah.
let's talk that
Let's hope
money
my
you
wife's
spent.
not watching. But yeah, I did some mods. So the first thing I got was the Can-Am windshield because I've had naked bikes and I'm just tired of the fatigue, the air hitting your chest fatigue thing that happens. So uh, in the beginning, I bought the couple of accessories without doing much research, and then I started doing research. I'm like, dang it, I could have saved a couple $100, but it's all right. It made for good video content. Because I don't have a problem admitting my mistakes on video as well, and to
Of
help
course.
somebody else save their mistakes
Of course.
from making a mistake. So I bought this windshield, which I still like, but it's for a different application. So I bought the Can-Am windshield first, which is good, but not for long haul riding. Like
Right.
for city and all that. It's great. I love it. It looks good too. Then I got the link rack, which is that another kind of like a tray that goes
Yeah,
on top of
so
the back mount.
yeah.
And then because you can put different bags, they have different accessories. I thought that was really cool. So I got one of the bags, a 4.5 gallon bag on there. What else did I do? Risers, um, some couple of things from Sling Mods. Just locks for the front. I got the lock for the front. Some stickers here and there, but I really didn't go all out. Like there are some people who have gone like all out on their Rikers. I'm talking like, there's one thing to get a wrap, like, you've got a wrap, it looks pretty, calm, pretty, and then there's one thing where it looks like a disco, and here's the
Yeah.
80s coming out, right? It looks like a disco, which also looks good. Don't get me wrong.
It does.
One of my friends who I ride with has one, same as Bill Ramsire, right? And it looks
Uh,
cool.
it
But
does.
some, with lights and everything, I'm like, God, I don't think I'm gonna go that far. So
I like
mine
it.
is subtle. It's subtle.
Yeah, I went with the subtle wrap for the simple
Yeah.
fact that I know what it's like to wrap or get a wild paint job on a bike. And after the first year of it, you're staring at it like, yuck.
What did I
So,
do?
yeah. So I say, you know what, this year when I get a bike and I wrap it, I'm gonna go with something subtle that when I look at it, it's not
Yeah.
gonna blow my mind every time I look at it like, oh my gosh, this is way too much.
Yeah.
So, but I'm the
That's the
same
subtle
way.
subtle things.
Yeah.
My accessories were just to help me, right?
Yeah.
So, just put a little extra two USB ports, because I want my phone to charge right there by the handlebars. I
Right.
just got the risers,
Okay.
and those really help, the risers. And the side saddlebag, the shad saddlebag is a must for me because
Okay.
anywhere I go, I can lock my helmet. My helmet fits with my GoPro mount right here. It fits perfectly in the
That's good.
shad saddle, and then you can lock it. You don't have to worry about
Right.
any other kind of lock, which I didn't like anyway. So not a whole lot. I've gone through like a couple of windshields, obviously, if you
Yeah.
guys know, and then now I think I've found my all in one great windshield.
That's cool.
And
What's your favorite mod? Like what's the best
it's
thing?
gonna be the windshield. It's
I'm
gonna
the
be the
same
windshield.
way. I'm the
Yeah.
same way. I put the 15-inch uh Cal size windshield.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. What is that company called? California Science something.
Scientific, yeah. I put their
Scientific. Yeah,
windshield on it and it's the perfect height. And I have to say, for riding, you're right. To
yeah,
keep the
yeah.
fatigue down, that and oddly enough, the foam hand grips.
Yeah.
The foam
Oh yeah,
hand
yeah. I forgot
grips.
about that. The foam hand grips, I love. I put them on all my bikes.
Oh man, that was
Yeah.
like night and day, man. Because I
Yeah.
was
Oh
like,
yeah. Yeah.
it cuts down
Although I
that
feel like the
vibration.
ones they make for the Riker are a little too thick. Like the ones that I had for my two wheels, they were a little thinner. They were perfect, you know.
Right.
And but it's a must. I mean, a lot of people don't like them, but you know, when you ride different kind of bikes, and you know this, the vibrations that come through the
Yes.
handlebar, they make
Yes.
your arm go numb or hand go numb. That's why I get the foam grips.
That's
I'm sure.
exactly
Yeah.
why I did it. That is
Because all of a sudden you're
exactly.
like, what's going on? My hand's not working, you know,
Yeah,
and
you got to
because of
drop
this.
your arms down and shake
Yeah.
them out to get some
Oh,
blood
yeah.
flowing. Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
understood.
And you know, the windshield, why, you know, windshield is, it's a tough thing to buy. You know what I mean? Like I've spent money on two different windshields, right?
Right,
I was fortunate to return one. I liked all the windshield that I purchased, but
right,
I felt they were all for different people can find different brands. So the brand that I like doesn't mean that, of course, you might
right,
like it, but you know, so they're all the three windshields that I purchased. I like them all, but I ended up with the one that I like, and it's like a pair, it's like gloves or shoes, right? You have to find the one that you fits right for you,
absolutely.
and the thing is that I wish there were these stores, you know, like the dealerships that carried a few different windshields. All they have to do is just carry 4 or 5 demos. They don't have to put
Yeah,
stock.
I
So that way you
noticed
can
that.
order one, you know,
I
put it on your bike a
noticed.
little bit, kind of have, now you have to, you know, gamble, watch videos, and you know, somebody might really like my video on a windshield, but when they get it, it doesn't fit them, you know.
Yeah, I
So
noticed that Can-Am has not really like cornered the market on accessories. They kind of like let everybody jump on and build their own, which is cool. But
yeah,
you know, because you get a whole lot of different prices. You know, they don't corner
yeah,
the market and charge it. But you're right. When you go and want to get these accessories, you're not, it's not like you could do a demo like, hey, man, if you
yeah,
need a windshield, look how this one looks. And
yeah,
you know, same thing with a bike, because when you buy a bike, the add-ons,
yeah,
the fairings, the grips, the pegs, and all of that, you could
right,
just play around with before
yeah,
you make the purchase.
right,
Whereas Can-Am, you buy it, it's naked, and then, you know, good luck out
yeah.
there. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
pick
I
up
like
what you
the
can.
concept that you make it your own,
Oh, yes,
but
yes.
but the thing is that, you know, like majority of the dealerships have other franchises in that dealership, not just Can-Am, right? They'll have
Correct.
Honda, Kawasaki, whatever, Ducati. But the thing is, and they also sell aftermarket accessories, helmets, jackets, all that. So they should have some extra options, because you know, once a lot of times you buy these windshields or you buy something online, you can't return them, or you have to pay
Right.
money to return them. It's tough.
Yeah.
But Can-Am is supposedly they're coming out with some new accessories. A lot of people are saying they're coming out with a bigger windshield, or a bigger bag for the, you know, the tail bag or something, or top case. But I just don't see it yet. But they are saying they're coming out with new accessories. So
Well,
hopefully,
we hope and pray, you know, about, you know, if they're gonna really up the Rikers you know, showcase, because
yeah,
you know, like you said, when you go to the dealer, all you have is panels right now. And you know, and I mean, I respect that these guys are coming out, they're making things for the Riker and they're selling them and they're becoming
yeah.
big with it, you know. So
It's still new, right? It's still
yeah,
new.
yeah,
And
it's
you know, it's
still
still,
new.
if you think about it, it's only what, just a year old or a little over a year old, right? When did they
Right.
come out? In 2019. So we're still,
19, and
yeah.
then yeah, February of 19, I
So it's
think
going to
it
be
came out.
2 years very soon. And for that, we still have a lot of aftermarket accessories. Guys like the Sling Mods guys have come out with a
Well,
lot, you know, and Spider
Sling
Pod, for,
Mons,
yeah,
we're
a
not
couple
gonna
of other
say,
places, yeah.
we're gonna
But
delete that. We're gonna delete that name because you know he's not sponsoring my channel.
oh,
So
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I
no,
didn't
that's
know it
all
was
right.
like that.
That's all right.
Um,
Everybody does it because everybody shops from him. I
yeah,
understand it.
yeah,
Great guys over there.
yeah.
Nothing, no
But but
problem
but
with
let's
product.
let's redo this take and say
Yeah,
that
yeah. I put a
that you
little.
know, there's a lot of companies, couple of specialized companies everybody knows that come out with these accessories, which is good. If they didn't do that, we'd be
Yeah,
stuck, like you said.
yeah.
So
We would be stuck because
yeah,
you know adding the lights and you
yeah,
know all the extra features.
yeah,
Luckily, Can-Am came out with a plug and play system, because I remember back in the days when you had a bike, you had to splice wires and you had to do all types of things.
right.
And now the Ryker came with a plug and play system. Oh, you want to upgrade this? Plug it into here. We have an outlet for you here. And I like that
That
concept
makes it
a
easy.
lot. It makes
Yeah,
it 100% easy.
yeah,
And actually doing a performance on it, because, you know, as you've seen on my channel, I do mostly all the work on my Ryker.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
And I, I dabbled in bikes before, but this to me, I mean, I'm ready to, do a complete overhaul. And I'm sitting down with somebody right now and we're talking about maybe doing a turbo. And I'm like,
Really?
you think we could do
That would be,
it?
man.
And, I'm talking to a mechanic right now and he's like, yeah, I mean, we could, we'll crack it open in the winter. We'll take it
Yeah.
apart. We'll break it down. And we'll see if we could do something. So I'm like, you
Turbo.
know
Look at
what?
that, man.
Let's
Turbo
try it.
in New York City. Calling your friends. I'm leaving the house. Like, where are you? I'm there. What do you mean? You just left the house. I'm there. I've got turbo.
I'm gonna need a new set of tires, though. You don't want
Yeah.
to ride like that in New York. Some of these potholes will cut you in half. But
You got to put the turbo boost button on there. Then
now you're really talking about Knight Rider, right?
No, but I gotta be honest with you. I hear a lot of chatter about Can-Am service and all of that being not up to par. And honestly, I can't speak to what happened in 2019, but I do know that I've learned my lesson just recently with a lot of stuff. Never buy the first year product of anything, right?
Yeah,
And I just learned this lesson with a car. I bought a car and I was like, oh my God, I will never buy a new model, first year model ever. So yeah, they'll always have issues, but
did you have
but
a
they
lot
took
of?
care of me as well. I had a video out and I bought the bike. I was supposed to do an iron butt, the 1,000-mile saddle sore. And I was like, that will be my first few videos. It'll be great. Nobody's done it. I want to see how the Ryker feels. And I missed it because the bike had to go to the shop because I hit a small little bump on the road and my handlebars just went off center. Now here I'm riding like this, going straight. You know how awkward that is,
Yes.
In a car, you don't feel it. But on a bike, I'm like,
And
I was like,
what?
I want to return the bike. I don't care if I bought it from Walmart or not. I want to return it.
You say that, right? But that didn't happen to me. But I had the cracked wheel nut. And this is crazy because when I got the letter in the mail, your wheel nuts could crack. So I'm like, man, that it's only one lug nut. So I the appointments now, you're talking about COVID. So there's like no one working. There's nobody open. There's the dealers have one mechanic. He's only down to 2 days a week now. So getting an appointment to get my bike fixed. So I was like, all right, let me check my lug nuts before I ride out.
Yeah.
And then
they just came out with a recall, right? So
yeah.
I went there and it turns out that the lug nuts that I have on there, and they're okay. They actually just torqued it, and they said that didn't even they didn't even have to do much. But they did tell me when I spoke with the owner, he said they changed the design of it. I didn't even realize they changed the design of it. So
they did, and when I got the new ones, I noticed it. Mine's completely split, but they say you could ride. Wow. But I was like, you know what? I'm riding it right to the dealership. I'm not riding it anyway. And you could tell because the new lug nut it has all the stars, and one of the stars on the lug nut is round. And if one of the stars on your lug nut is round and not pointy like the rest, then you have to upgrade it one. But I put a picture up. I did a whole YouTube video on that. It was completely split. I mean, I was like,
I saw some pictures. It was horrifying. I'm like,
yeah, I was like,
can you imagine that?
Oh my! I mean,
you know what that reminds me of? My uncle was a car nut, right? It's still a car nut. And this is before, in the late 80s, early 90s, before the internet really took off for research. He used to have these recall books, just to see every brand of cars that was sold in America had a section there with the recall. I remember, I won't say the brand, but I remember one reading and my eyes just opened up wide and he's like, yeah, that's normal. I was like, the steering wheel might come off. Like, what? The steering wheel might come off. That kind of what reminds me. Yeah, your wheel might come off, but it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I had the recall for the lug nut, the brake cylinder, and that problem with the steering rod. There was something about a washer that was not put in properly.
Okay.
But I get it because when I picked up my Can-Am, the guy took me to the back and he showed me they come in a box. They literally put these things together like
any other motorcycle.
Right. Yeah. So I get that, they might send instructions and then, the guy might read them in a different way and things like that. And, it was simple, but the recall on the nuts, I was like, wow, I hope nobody, I didn't read about anybody having a bad accident on it or see the news. So I'm assuming that most people Yeah, I'm on
I
top.
actually dropped a video a week ago or 2 weeks ago when I went to get the recall work done, and I got the Ace rear tire fender. That's the newest
Oh
addition
yeah, I
on the
saw that. I
accessory.
saw that video.
That's
Yeah, that's nice.
that is a must, man, because the stuff that was flying back was just, and the owner, who's a master technician, and this is just a Can-Am dealership, no other brands, right?
Okay.
And he said that I asked him why did they do the recall now? Why not all those times earlier when people were yelling and screaming that, hey, something's wrong?
Right.
And he says that without going into details, and I'm sure these dealerships get all the info, without going into details, somebody's wheel did come off,
Mm.
and they didn't get hurt. They fell, they didn't get hurt, but I think they went into, like, they took legal action, and then I think it's probably because of
Oh.
that they did the recall, either because they were forced to do it by the course, or they said, you know what, let's just put this to bed once and for all. Let's do a recall, get every bike in, and see what's
Well,
what.
it
So,
had to be a valid reason because,
yeah,
like I said, I have an actual picture and I did a whole YouTube on it that
yeah.
you could actually see it through the threads. It completely
Oh,
split. So,
I see the, yeah,
right.
yeah.
So obviously it did have some weight, but I don't think how they could say that the crack wheel nuts would be driver error. That's like,
No, I
those are
mean, if
things
that's the
that
case,
would
then,
never
man,
fail. Yeah, that
you,
would be
you never
some,
hear about this with other brand of motorcycles. I mean,
no. No,
you
once
never
there's a
hear about stuff
recall,
like
that's
that.
it. You
Yeah,
get the letter in the mail, you bring
yeah.
it back. There's
I
never
think they
a
just rush the product out without doing proper, testing. And who knows? I'm just speculating, right?
we
So
don't
it
know.
could have been
We
anything,
don't
but
we
as
don't
long as they
know.
stand behind it and fix it without before people get hurt, it's good. Because I like it.
Right.
I like the
Right.
product.
Oh yeah,
I
let me
like
tell
it.
you something. I love the Ryker and I've rode the Spider. Friend of mine had it a couple of years back. I rode it. I liked it. And this thing right here, I enjoy it. I mean, I'm a commuter. Like how many miles you got now on yours?
I've got close to 4,000 miles on mine.
All right. So
Yeah,
I'm a little under 4,000.
yeah.
So I get it. So,
But you're in New York City.
yeah.
I'm out in anywhere I go, it's 70 miles. My daily work commute is 70 miles. So
Right.
round trip. So yeah.
Yeah, I spend most of my miles though at 3 miles an hour because I can't go anywhere in this traffic. Except, when I get off work late at night, then I can zip
Right.
through. But now I'm home in 20 minutes. So where's the fun in that? So,
Yeah, yeah, I know, I know,
but
I
I
know.
try to hit these big rides. A lot of guys out here in New York, they'll get together and
Yeah,
they big ride outs, and we'll go out there, and it'll be
yeah,
about a hundred
yeah.
hundred Can-Ams out there, and we're just
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, yeah. So I posted some big rides. We did one for breast cancer. We did one for
Yeah.
9/11. So yeah, I mean, I
I
put
saw
them.
you were alive. You were live on Instagram that night. You were riding. I was like,
Oh
was
yeah,
that a mistake?
yeah,
Did
yeah.
you hit the wrong button by accident or what happened?
No, no. I was like, you know what? I see people always posting something live, so I say, you know
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Let me try
Yeah,
this.
and I did mine I did a collaboration for the first time with Thrill Mouse Moto,
Oh yeah, I was on that.
Yeah,
I came into
yeah,
your live
I
chat.
saw, yeah. Yeah, it was cool. I'd never done it, and I was like, Barry and I were texting, and then I was like, you know what? Let me just call him because I was like texting, and then I call it, and we chatted, like making plans and what to do, and talking about just a bunch of stuff for like over an hour. And then
Right.
my wife comes down and is like, "Who the heck are you talking to for an hour?" I'm like, and then I play that joke, it's like, it's Jake, and she didn't get it because she hadn't seen those
Oh,
ads. I'm like, wifey, that was really funny, but you haven't seen the ad, so I can't. So yeah, yeah, that was really fun. Doing that live thing with Thrill Mouse Moto. It was
yeah,
pretty
that
cool.
was cool. I saw you do some with Beth from Riker
Oh
Rides.
yeah, yeah. Beth has been here, and it's funny. I love it that, yeah, I never thought that I would start connecting with people like that. And I'm a social guy. I like to connect with people. Meet with people, and when Beth came across, just reached out to her. I was like, hey, let's meet up, at a coffee shop. And I have two of my good friends that I ride with always. They were my first viewers who I met, Brian and Denise. They go by
Okay.
Captain Chaos and I Ryker. Denise is the one who's got that rap, crazy rap. If you see my videos, and Brian's got that Goldwing. And so those are my good friends. We always ride together, and so I was like, hey, I've got a couple of your fans, your followers, I should say, and let's meet up. So we met up. We
That's
sat
cool.
there. until, like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes after the place was closed. And the guy was so nice. They were cleaning. They're like, just sit here. Don't worry about it, And we sat there for like 2, 3 hours. It was a lot of fun. We connected like this, and then
That's nice.
just hung out. So many. And
Well,
she's
that's
a
the
great person.
whole.
Yeah.
She's cool. Yeah, that's the whole purpose of
Yeah.
my show. My show is to, I wanted to do this podcast thing because this, the Riker ownership is pretty new, and guys are out there, and they want to talk about it, and they want to, meet up with other people. Oh, you got it in that state, how it is. I did a podcast with a guy from West Virginia, no, Western Kentucky.
Okay.
And he said he's the first guy in Western Kentucky with a Riker.
Yeah. Wow.
And so I spoke to the Border Riker. Yeah, he was a great guy. Beth, of course. I did some other people.
There's a lot of great people. They all, and I love it that everybody comes together and supports each other.
Yeah, it's a good
and
community.
I can throw some names out there, but I don't want to upset the people that I forget. But who you are.
Yeah.
You comment on the channels. I comment on your channels, and I thank you very much for watching my channel and supporting and yeah. I love the fact how everybody gets together. And I met Beth. I met a couple of viewers who have now become my good friends. My riding buddies, my partners. Right. We don't go anywhere without each other. So yeah, it's amazing. It's just, I love it when people come together like that. You know what I mean?
No, it's good.
Yeah. And now that I met Beth, I'm excited to meet other YouTubers on three wheels as well. Like I told Barry, we're gonna have to meet somewhere close. You're in Texas, you're a little far.
That's what I tell everybody.
And let's meet up and do some collab videos. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I tell everybody the same thing. I say, listen, man, if you ever want to take a trip to New York, see the city, have to send me a contact. We're gonna go out. I don't care if it's the middle of the winter. We'll ride out. I'll take you to all the spots. We have a good time. But this is a perfect segue into the end of the show. Zia, I want to thank you for being on the show. I know you got some stuff out there on social media. Go ahead and promote it. Tell them everybody what you got. All the listeners who are not watching.
So I've got the Instagram channel. It's the Knight Ryker. And I just started the Facebook page as well. I was under my own personal name, then I just created one. It's the Knight Ryker. If you search the Knight Ryker, it'll pull up. But on Facebook, it's the Knight Ryker, then space Zia, and it'll come up. My first name is Zia. So, and of course, the YouTube channel, the Knight Ryker. So, if those are the three platforms I'm on right now, and there's a lot more videos to come. Matter of fact, we're planning if everything works out, fingers crossed, Brian and I, we're planning to ride down to Florida and meet up with Beth over there. And hopefully I can meet up with Ryker Chick and maybe reach out to Coach Bob and, we'll reach out to them and see if we can all come together and just sit down and have a chat, So that's the plan in December.
If that happens, man, hit me up, man. I'll put you on the show. We'll do a live podcast. So
that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Yeah. We'd love to do it. So check out the channel and yes, connect with me. Yeah.
All YouTubers subscribe. Knight Ryker, cool channel. He's got a lot of tips going on, up and coming. Great guys. Of course, you heard. Let me just throw that out. For me, you can follow my YouTube channel, La Love Rod Full. I know everybody asks, what does that mean? It's a childhood joke. I have to keep it till the end of time. You can follow everything you want to know on Instagram. My Instagram is Shadow Black Ryker. My podcast is Rolling on 3. It's on YouTube and on all streaming platforms except for iTunes. I'm working on that now for everybody. Please hit that like, subscribe, and the follow for my channel, for the Knight Ryker's channel. This was Zia. Great show, man. I got to have you back. You got some great stories. Good guy. I'm going to wrap up the show.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. It's a wrap. All right, bro.